trip?
I made it. I'm back. I'm glad to be home.
What's it like up there? I've only flown. I spent some time in Vancouver, but is it? I mean,
Uh, a little wine country, Pinot Noir
okay.
country out there. So we did a drive along the coast, Clumber. It's all really nice up there. But I'm back. Glad to be back home.
For great things. Well, exciting week this week. College football is mid-season form. We have three ranked versus ranked games. Number 8 Tennessee's at 25 LSU. LSU getting 3 at home. Number 17 TCU at number 19 Kansas. Kansas getting 6.5 at home. Number 11 Utah and number 18 UCLA getting 3.5 at home. Interesting thing that sticks out to me of those three ranked games is all three home teams are underdogs. Game day is at TCU and Kansas, but the whooping TCU, and we're going to talk about Oklahoma here in a little bit, but the whooping TCU put on Oklahoma last week, and the Jayhawks squeaked out a victory. That's got both teams undefeated in Big 12 play, so that one be interesting to see what those two teams look like going against each other.
Yeah, I believe the just I don't even know what to describe. TCU did to Oklahoma. That 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 shocked me.
They're
And,
lucky they didn't get arrested.
dude,
Do that out
I
on the streets, you're doing some time, brother.
TCU needs a sign in their yard where they can't have trick or treaters after what they did to Oklahoma.
They gotta
I
they
mean,
gotta live a certain distance away from an elementary school.
dude, I could not believe that. I mean, just if and this is kind of what we about bringing in Venables. He had this. He's an Oklahoma legend,
Yeah.
able to do it the defense for so many years, and then you see what he does at Clemson. And I'm personally, some guys are better coordinators than they are head coaches. Just is what it is.
Definitely
I
true.
think underestimating what Bob Stoops and Lincoln Riley were able to do offensively for that. They bring in Venables, and I'm like, good luck. And yeah, that is. I couldn't believe it.
Yep. TCU looked great, looked unstoppable. They play undefeated Kansas. Game day is going to be there. Tennessee, LSU. Tennessee, find out if Tennessee's for real, or at least have a better understanding to see if they're for real. LSU, after losing their opener, Florida State, they've really kind of come on and played well. So find out a lot about those teams. Both those games are 11 a.m. games. And then one, Utah, UCLA in the Pac-12. We know USC, they're still undefeated. UCLA looked great last week against Washington. Told you so. And Utah floundered at Florida. And so Utah, UCLA should be a good one. Utah is definitely the most physical team in the Pac-12. UCLA might be the second most. So you're going to see a physical brand of football. So we'll get those. Other matchups, we got Arkansas at number 23, Mississippi State. Mississippi State coming off the big win over A&M. Arkansas, what do you think? A little bit of an A&M loss hangover last week? I know you're playing Bama, but
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, it's Bama. I thought we played well against KJ Jefferson practice Wednesday, which was kind of the cutoff to see if it was going to be him or Malik Horn.
yeah.
Came to the quarterback, but Jefferson practice, so that's a good indicator he's going to play. So I'm excited about that game.
I'm like Mississippi State's favored by 9.5 points there. I think that's a little much, but I'm a little gun shy after I took the Hogs last week. I figured they'd keep it within 17 against Alabama, and they didn't. Maybe KJ Jefferson has a little bit to do with it, but Mississippi State favored by 9.5, hosting Arkansas. Texas Tech's at number 7, Oklahoma State. Again, Oklahoma State's favored by 9.5, but Tech got exposed a little bit by Kansas State last week. What about the win? Oklahoma State over Baylor last week, get a little Big 12 title game revenge. Oklahoma State's looking like they're maybe the best team in the Big 12.
I like it. I called that one. I like that one. I liked Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State's got a really good shot at winning the Big 12. I know Baylor had a good shot. but I think Oklahoma State's in the drive, especially after that win.
Everything I've seen tells me Oklahoma State's the best team in the Big 12. Their only hindrance has been in the past Spencer Sanders. And if Spencer Sanders is going to play decent football, I like Oklahoma State to win the Big 12. And so far he has. He's played really good ball. The defense not as good as last year, but still very good. Derek Mason's DC. So Oklahoma State's looking good. They host Texas Tech. Number 1 Alabama hosting Texas A&M. Alabama's favored by 24. A little bit of a revenge spot here for Saban. Let's not forget about the Real Housewives of the SEC that went on in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Little spat between Saban and Fisher. Fisher, they're coming off a loss to Mississippi State. They're 3-2 on the season. The offense looks terrible. Alabama, Bryce Young is questionable. What I've read, it sounds like he's going to play, but if not, Jalen Miller will step in. But Alabama, this could be a spot where there's no mercy had. I mean, this could be Game of Thrones, King Joffrey cutting off Ned Stark's head. I mean, just no mercy right here. I could see Alabama putting it on them. It's 24-point spread, but I could see Alabama just blowing and going until they can't stop.
Yeah, Saban gets angry. He's always angry on the sidelines, but he's been angrier a lot the last couple of years. Just haven't been dominant as they have been in the past. And you see him just get irate and like, you're up, used to be as like, oh, you're up 21, 17, 21 points in the fourth. What are you getting up, coach? It's just how he is. They need to play. Saban here. His really good Alabama teams played up here the entire time. They didn't do this. They've done a lot more of the years. And so you're right. I could see this being a game. Revenge one, and then second, just going. And I tell you what, their backup quarterback may be one of the fastest guys in college football. Yeah. That kid took off on us. I couldn't believe it. I was like, well, he's gone.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He was actually committed to Texas originally, and then when Quinn Ewers, he's a class ahead of Ewers. Then when Ewers committed, of course, he ended up decommitting and going to Ohio State and came back to Texas. But as soon as he did that, like a day later, Milroe decommits, ends up signing with Alabama. He's a real deal.
Yeah, he looked like it.
He's pretty good. And then, of course, it's lost a little bit. Both teams 3-2. We're going with the Red River Shootout this year. They change the name of it every year. Red River Shootout, Texas, Oklahoma. Texas favored by a touchdown. The first time Texas has been favored since 2009. We talked a little bit about it when we were talking about TCU beating Oklahoma, but I remember distinctly this summer, I was in the pool at my parents' house, and, I got a couple of Sooners in the family. We got my mom, my sister, and then my youngest sister, her husband now, they're Sooners. And I'm trying to tell them, I said, this is the first time y'all have actually had a coaching transition since you hired Bob Stoops back in 1999. They're like, well, Lincoln Riley. I'm like, that doesn't count because Lincoln Riley was already on staff. It was late in the summer. He just kept the same staff and kept the same stuff you've been doing. You didn't miss a beat. You're changing everything you've been doing. You're changing new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new system. And the system you're trying to do is completely different than what Lincoln Riley and his staff did. So I said the players on this team are not the style of players that Brent Venables wants. Look at his Clemson team and look at it. They're built differently when it's Clemson defense. So they're going to try to do stuff that Oklahoma players aren't suited for. Plus, all your best players left. I said 8-4 would be a good season for Oklahoma. And Jimmy, the just astonishment on their faces were, well, we're Oklahoma. And I'm like, listen, I've seen it at Texas. Like, we've gone through Charlie Strong, Tom Herman, Sarkisian last year. Dude, that first year is rough. When you're trying to go from a completely different system, dude, the buy-in from the players usually isn't great. You got to get your own guys in there. You got to weed them out. And now in Oklahoma, the first 3 weeks, they were letting me have it. They looked dominant. And now they're sitting at 3-2, 0-2 in the Big 12. Texas has every opportunity to just give them the knockout blow. and then you get to 3-3. OU gets 3-3. Who knows what's going to happen with those guys in that locker room? There's going to be NFL guys that aren't going to care about this season anymore and just get concerned about themselves. There's going to be other guys who don't like it anymore at OU. I mean, this is what it's going to could save their season, and Texas better be ready to go. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Oklahoma's find out what
you're right.
Coaching change, what it looks like.
You're exactly. We underestimate how much Lincoln Riley already being there helped them out. Bob Stoops still being around. Everybody. You don't know how much coaching he was doing. From the box, and so you're right. This is the first big coaching change they've had since Stoops. And I mean, Venables wasn't known for his offense, so
no. And offense hadn't been. It's crazy. Offense really hadn't been the problem.
And we know about the Big 12. Big 12 all offense.
Yeah.
And if you can't score in the Big 12,
and of the two units, offense really hadn't been their big problem. It's been the defense. The defense they're ranked 9th overall in the Big 12. They're dead last in rush defense in the Big 12. They're averaging just under 200 yards a game, allowing 200 yards a game rushing. And Texas got this guy named Bijan Robinson, who is projected to be the number 1 running back taken in the draft this week to try to fix some run defense spots. He's also, you know what I heard? I heard he's having he has his own brand of mustard called Dijon Mustardson.
Yeah.
He's having a mascot for that product will be on the field or around the state fair. We'll see if they show that on TV on Saturday.
I'd like to see that. Have you got any of that yet? Is that
I
HEB?
haven't. I keep forgetting every time I go. I need to go to HEB next time I'm in Austin. Try it out. But yeah. So here's a stat. So Bijan Robinson, Texas running back, leads the nation in forced missed tackles. When he's running the ball, he's forced 46 missed tackles through 5 games.
It's hard to bring down.
Oklahoma missed 20 tackles last week against TCU. Just to put that in perspective. I mean, Bijan. Now the Texas interior offensive line run blocking hasn't been great. I mean, couldn't run the ball against Alabama. Couldn't really run it. Beside a couple big plays against Tech. Same thing with UTSA. Couldn't run it except for a couple big busted plays. So interior run game, the offense line, they're young. They're not great for Texas, but Bijan's still been averaging 100 yards a game. He's still doing his. So I expect Bijan to have a day. Next week. And also when you add in the injuries, OU was without 2 starters last week. They didn't even travel to TCU. And then 7 other starters got hurt in the game. So OU has 9 players questionable heading into this game, including quarterback Dylan Gabriel, who wasn't lighting it up when he got hurt, but you saw the drop-off between him and Bevel is drastic. And, I don't know if Gabriel's going to play or not. It's a risky deal because of the thing that just happened with Tua last week. So I don't know if you're willing to risk that because we all saw him get knocked out. I mean, my money is on that he doesn't play, and if he does, if you're Brent Venables, I don't know if you want that smoke. You better hope he doesn't get hit hard. And the way it's looking, you could be without 2 starting tackles. They have 9 players questionable, like I just said. So, everything is looking in the favor of my Longhorns, but you never know with this game.
Rivalry game,
and this one in particular. How many times has Texas been terrible going in this game and then keeps it close or finds a way to win? 2015, Texas was 1-4 heading into the game. They just got beat 50-7 by TCU the week before. Oklahoma was undefeated, ranked inside the top 10, and Texas beats them in 2015 with Rod Hurd. He threw like 12 passes. So, anything can happen in this game, but it's all pointing in favor of Texas, who's favored by 7 for the first time. Been favored against OU since 2009. So, it's a crazy, unpredictable game. It's the last 8 games have been a 1-possession game. So, we'll see. But also I think Sarkisian got a little revenge factor on him. He, after last year, I think he took that one hard. Being up 28-7, being up 18 points at halftime, and then losing that game the way Texas did it.
Yeah.
It unraveled their season. I think Texas has a little chip on their shoulder for that, a little revenge factor. But again, OU, this is how OU saves their season. They got nothing to lose. You come out and win this game. So be interesting to see what you think. I mean, I don't know if you have a play on this game, but it's 7. I don't know which side you'd take on this one.
And, we'll have to wait till picks to see if I have a
Yeah.
play on this game. But I like what you. And yeah, from the Oklahoma side, there's no way I let Dylan Gabriel. I mean, yeah, he gives you your best chance to win,
Yeah.
but look at his track record. It's not like the game all the whole time at UCF either.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the guy is he's got the injury bug. And like you said, he wasn't lighting it up Heisman numbers before he got hurt. So I don't know. I don't know how Oklahoma wins this game other than all of a sudden the defense been lulling Texas to sleep the entire season. Now they're going to come out and be Venables' defense, which I don't see happening, especially giving up all those rushing yards. Bijan may have a day.
Yeah. Could be a breakout. Yeah. I mean, the missed tackles, when I watch Oklahoma, the missed tackles they stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, they're bad missed tackles. Their 2 linebackers are bad. 2 and 28. They're not good. So, you miss tackles, you just got to tackle better, and then that solves a lot of problems. But let's see if they got better at tackling in a week. So obviously, I'm excited for that one. Big game for me. Always is State Fair. I guess moving to the NFL, Cowboys, another win. Washington, we all expected it. That was an easy bet for me last week. Cowboys are now 3-1. I'm a little surprised how big of an underdog they are going against the Rams. Rams look pathetic Monday night against the 49ers. Rams on a short week. Cowboys go to Los Angeles, play the Rams. Cowboys are getting 5.5. A little shocked by that. Rumors are Dak was supposed to come back this week, but I don't know if he can grip the football yet, so I think it's still going to be Cooper Rush. Of course, you got the Eagles on deck, but if you're the Cowboys and you got elite defense and the struggles that the Rams are having on offense, this is a game the Cowboys come through and win this game. If you're a playoff team, you win this game.
I think so. I think this is a game. This is a test game because we know what the Rams. They're an elite team. They hadn't necessarily played like it this year, but this is a game you got to win. If you want to really be a starting quarterback in the NFL, this is your audition game right here. You had the Minnesota game, but Minnesota with Kirk Cousins is either really good or they're terrible. So, but the Rams are consistently good, and if you can beat the Rams, the entire season's going to lift up because everyone, just like when Romo went down, everyone kind of went, well, here goes the season. We had all this, it's bad enough we lost Tyron Smith. Now we lose Dak Prescott. We know what happens in the past when Dak goes down, so on. So it's, and Rush has played lights out. He does kind of reminds me of Stetson Bennett, like we talk about. Rush isn't going to play with his arm strength and make all these spectacular throws downfield, but he's making the throws he had to keep us in the game and to win the game. And so, yeah, this is a big game for Dallas and for the Rams. Like you said, just get drummed. Looked awful on Monday Night Football. This is a big game for them at home. I'm excited for this. I think Dallas has a really good chance to win.
I do too. That's why I'm really shocked they're getting 5.5. The Rams have not impressed me at all. I really believe the Cowboys can win this football game, especially the defense. The defense has been playing elite. Defense carries. I like the game plans for Cooper Rush. He's executed them. He's made good throws. He struggled a little bit early last week, but we caught on. And I like the Cowboys' chances. So it's a big one because you got the Eagles on deck, and the Eagles are undefeated, the last undefeated team. You don't want to fall too far behind them. If you win this week, you're playing for first place next week. So a lot to play for. I like the Cowboys' chances. So I guess let's get into the picks. I was 4-2 last week, another winning week. I'm 20-8 on the season, 71%. Jimmy, winning week last week, 3-2. Your only 2 losses were your head-to-head against me.
Mm-hmm.
But
lucky.
Yeah, lucky. They're both blowouts. I thought, yeah, both of them were TCU and UCLA. Season, Jimmy, 16-12, 57%.
Boom.
I mean, we as a show, we might be the hottest
Money.
show on YouTube. The way we're picking this year. So I got 5. I got 4 college, 1 NFL game. My first college game. We talked about this game a little earlier. It's number 25 LSU hosting number 8 Tennessee. Tennessee does have the win against Florida, but LSU at home, I really think they've kind of turned it around after they lost to Florida State. It's a home team getting points. You know my philosophy. I feel like it's going to be a really good competitive game. I really feel like it could go either way, but you're going to give me the home team who might be just as good, getting 3 points. I'll take my chances. Give me the LSU Tigers +3 at home against Tennessee.
I'm going to stay in the same game, but I'm going to take Tennessee. If this was LSU, I think LSU would have it. I basically flipped a coin on this one. And LSU at home, it's in Death Valley, and the coin landed on Tennessee. We're going to get to see the hype around Tennessee's real, and so I went -3 on this. At 11 o'clock in the morning,
it's 11 o'clock.
Death Valley kind of takes.
I'd feel way better if it was a night game.
But, 100%. I'd be all over LSU. But 11 a.m., I think Tennessee found a way to get it done.
All right, we're going head-to-head again. I'm 2-0 head-to-head. We'll see. This one, though, I don't feel as good about this one. But, again, I like the home team getting points. So, another game that's probably going to be a bit of a shocker. It's Iowa State hosting Kansas State. Now, Iowa State's only getting 2 points. Iowa State's 0-2 in the Big 12 with losses to Baylor and Kansas. They blew that game last week against Kansas. Iowa State's back at home. Kansas State, undefeated. Huge win against Oklahoma. They beat Texas Tech. But it's one of those things where we've talked about this over the years. The line stinks, like it smells. Why is Kansas State only favored by 2 points against Iowa State? Iowa State has 2 losses. Well, they still have that win over Iowa. Still a decent football team. Their run defense is – they have the top rush defense in the Big 12. So I smell an upset coming. Give me Iowa State Cyclones at home +2 against Kansas State.
Staying in the same game, I'm going -2. I got to get some ground on you. But I also think Kansas, Taylor Martinez, Colin Klein, I think they really have something going there in Manhattan. And Iowa State has annoyed me ever since they wanted to anoint Brock Purdy for the womb when they should have been concentrating more on Breece Hall. But every time he threw a pass, it was the greatest pass ever thrown in college football history. So they've been ever since then. So I'm going Kansas State -2.
Just remember, Brocktober. Remember every October they'd have like 3 or 4 games against terrible teams, and he would light it up, and it was just, the Brocktober. And then he'd get to November and have to play a good team, and he would lose.
Yeah.
But he'd always lose to Iowa. So,
exactly.
All right, we're going head-to-head. First 2 games again, just like last week. So
love it.
All right.
This week for me.
My third game, Notre Dame hosting BYU. This is a big matchup. Notre Dame obviously lost the first 2 games. Ohio State and then Marshall. But they've bounced back. They got to win against Cal. They got to win against North Carolina. They're at home. BYU has the home victory over Baylor, which is a nice win. But I think this is a spot. Notre Dame, I think, is on the upward trajectory. I think they're the better football team. I think Freeman's kind of got them going. They're pulling in the right direction. It's a home game. It's 3.5, but I'm gonna buy it down. Buy me that half point, and give me the Notre Dame Fighting Irish -3 at home against BYU.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame wins as well. I'm going to go with my game, Arkansas ½ against Mississippi State. KJ Jefferson, all reports indicate he's going to play. With KJ Jefferson out there, we are a better team than Mississippi State. I just think with our defense and with KJ at quarter, we keep this close. Definitely within 10, if not right. So I'm going Arkansas +9.5.
I love that bet. I agree with you. Arkansas, part of it was Alabama. Part of it might have been a little hangover from losing a close one to A&M the week before, But and I think Mississippi State looked great against Alabama, or against A&M. So this might be an opportunity where you're getting an inflated price.
Yeah,
I think Mississippi State is a 10-point team better than Arkansas, if they're even better than them.
Right. I would say the only thing to do is keep an eye on KJ. If he's a last minute scratch, you may want to hop all over Mississippi State, or actually probably not even touch it, because who knows what happens. This could be a close game all the way with our but if KJ plays, I like us covering this easily.
I did too. That's a good bet. My last one. This is kind of not a popular pick, but I'm going to take it. Texas A&M, Alabama over 51.5. I don't know how we're going to get there. Both teams are playing really good defense. A&M's offense is just atrocious. They struggle to score. I think Max Johnson has a broken finger. Hayes King came in through a couple interceptions. It's one of those. Just go with me. I'm hot right now. I'm 71% on the season here in the Gridiron Grind. I feel like Alabama is going to score, and they're going to keep scoring. Bryce Young's questionable, but I think he's going to play. I just feel like this is going to be an over game. This is going to be over 51.5. I think Alabama going to score into the 30s, 35, maybe even 42. I think Alabama's going to score. I really do, and I think A&M. If they can get me maybe 2 touchdowns or 17 points. They average 17 a game. Give me that 17. Alabama, I think, is going to do the rest. So I got Texas A&M Alabama over 51.5.
I can see it. I think Alabama in that. I don't think it'll be close. Yeah. So usually in those blowout games, touchdowns. Yeah, I was about to say it's usually those late touchdowns that just
Yeah.
I'm going to go with another over as well. I'm going TCU Kansas over 69. Those teams offensively are clicking. Supposed to be decent weather. I think TCU over 69 points. I think this is a game in the 30s, even 40-something, 30-something, maybe 42-38, 42-31, something like that. But I think this one hits. I think both teams just firing on all cylinders.
I agree. I like that one. I looked at that one as well. I like it. I like it a lot. For my last one, I'm going to the NFL. We kind of broke this game down a little bit. Cowboys at the Rams. It was 4.5. Now it's up to 5.5. Give me the Dallas Cowboys plus 5.5. It's a lot of points. I know they're on the road, but they got an elite defense. And the Rams look like dog poop Monday night against the 49ers. I think the Cowboys keep it within the number. So give me the Dallas Cowboys plus 5.5 on Sunday against the Rams.
I like that. I have 6 picks today.
Okay.
That game is one of them. I'm going to college real quick. And my last pick in college is Texas -7.
Love it.
I think everything you talked about, game with Sarkisian, Texas with OU's run defense, Texas a pretty decent guy back there in the backfield. I think he has a big day. I think it's just too much Texas. I think it'll be close and Texas will pull away. I think Texas is a double-digit win for Texas, really shutting the door on Oklahoma's season. And that's pretty much it. I just don't see any – it's a rival. I don't want to really say I don't see any way OU wins, but
right.
If Texas plays, even if they play as competitive as they did against, I think they win, because I think Oklahoma just – with Gabriel's injury concerns, Texas, defense usually shows up like we talk about. Everybody's going to be hyped for this game. Texas better. OU couldn't tackle me or you. So I think Texas -7 the play there. And then lastly, NFL, staying with the Cowboys, under 43. The Rams have looked awful. We know, like we Cooper Rush isn't as explosive as Dak. He's a game manager, and combined with our defense is the recipe for an under. So I think under Dallas and the Rams.
I like it. That's 6 good picks. Me and you going head to head on 2 of them. The Texas game, I'm with you. If Gabriel doesn't play, and it sounds like he's not, but I don't know how they score enough to keep it.
I don't either.
Especially with the way their defense is played. I mean, I can see this being Oklahoma having a great game plan, and they're holding nothing back and to save their season. And I can see it being tied early. But eventually, the defense for Oklahoma, they missed so many tackles. I just don't see the Oklahoma offense without Gabriel scoring enough to keep it within a touchdown.
Yeah, and I could see Sarkisian kind of letting the dogs loose.
Yes.
Like, if you can score, go score type deal.
Yeah.
It's not like he has any. They all have respect for each other, but it's not like he and Venables have been, old rivals or old buddy. Plus, Sarkisian's going, hey, I've got a checklist of things I got to do at Texas. The biggest one was getting Arch Manning. Still got to get him to campus, but commit half the battle. Second, you got to beat Oklahoma, and none of the boosters are going to be officer on your phone going, hey, now you shouldn't have beat them by 42. That's bad form.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see Texas really just opening the gates on Oklahoma.
I mean, my gut tells me, doing all the research for the game, my gut tells me a comfortable, minimum 2-score win for Texas. But what gives me reserve is it's a rivalry game, and this one in particular, it's always a one-possession game. Anything can happen. The team that has nothing to lose usually plays like it, and the team that has everything to lose kind of gets shell-shocked. But it's usually been the other way around. It's usually been Texas. So hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think with what happened to Texas last year in this game, having such a big lead and blowing it, I think they're going to be ready to go. And I can see an opportunity for Sark to really make a statement, put his foot on the gas, and just never stop until the whistle blows. So I could definitely see it. So looking forward to it.
And a big piece that missing from that team last year, like you said, they were up and then they come out second half and really turn it, is Lincoln Riley. Right. I think his offensive mind is one of the best offensive minds in the country.
Yep.
He learned under another, one of the best coaches coaching college football, and I think that is it's undervalued by us because look what he's done with USC, and we all thought I'd have took out a third and fourth. That USC wasn't going to be good. Here they are in the top 10. So Lincoln Riley made good, and when you lose something that is that good, it shows up in games just like this.
Yep, I think that'll be a big factor, not having Lincoln Riley. I mean, he's a heck of a football coach. So he's got USC rolling. That's for sure. So, all right, that'll do it. Another episode of the Gridiron Grind in the books. It's going to be a heck of a weekend for football, both college and NFL. And we'll see how the picks go. Again, maybe the hottest betting show on YouTube. 71%, 57%. I mean, we're hot. We're hot. We're seeing the laces on that fastball.
I can't believe I'm about to go 6-0. That's I'm pretty excited.
We'll see. We'll see.
Padding our stats, just padding our stats here on the grind.
I felt great about our 2 head-to-head last week. This week, I'm iffy. I bet hopefully we can split maybe. We'll see. You might get me. I don't know. But I was pretty confident last week.
I'll take 5-1 also.
All right. Well, another Gridiron Grind in the books. Have a good week. Check us out on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you.
See ya.